We're sitting here with Wes Thompson, and I'm going to ask Wes to tell us his full name and date of birth.
Kenneth Wesley Thompson, 8/24/24.
8/24/24. Who were your parents, Wes?
Earl Thompson and Adelaide Coleman Thompson.
Were they both from here, from Kent Island?
Yeah.
You had brothers and sisters?
Sister Pearl, she lived in Baltimore practically all her life. Just passed away. And Robert Nathan Thompson, my brother, Bobby.
So you're one of three.
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Where were you born?
Down in Minion Canal.
House, farmhouse down there? Farmhouse?
No. You go in that road right past Myrtle Thomas's garage down there. It's back there in the house where Myrtle Burns and them lived. Then my father built that house in that road back there past Harry Jones's store. Lester Lee bought it later. But my father had it built, you know, he built it himself, I'm not sure.
Right.
And we lived there when we was kids, you know.
Were your parents were both born here on Kent Island?
Yeah. Well, the Thompson moved down here in 1684.
1684.
I guess it's the same Thompsons,
right.
I don't know. But they owned that big bed and breakfast place down there, Thompson's did. Tell me I owned half Kent Island, didn't leave me enough to bury me in, you know.
So the Thompson family goes way back, one of the earliest families here on the island.
Yeah, 1684.
Have you ever traced yourself back to those Thompsons, or?
Mike has. I got the whole thing.
Your son, Mike, has done that.
Yeah.
What's your dad do? What's your dad do for a living?
He was a carpenter and a waterman.
Carpenter and a waterman.
Yeah. He had a skull fracture on Conowingo Dam working up there.
What was he doing?
2 cement forms come together and busted his head off. He never was right after that.
Really?
I mean, he wasn't insane, but took something out of it.
How old was he when that happened?
I was a baby. So he had to be 24, 25, I guess.
Young man.
Early 20s anyway.
What was he doing at the Conowingo? Working for the government contractor, or?
No, he was working for a consolidated engineer. Grandma Thompson's brother, Lawrence's, Nate Lawrence, he was general superintendent up there. And Grandpa Thompson, Uncle Roland, my father, and all of them went up there to work. And them cement forms come in together there and mashed his head. The doctor said he would have died, but they had to run him from Conowingo into Hopkins in Baltimore and said his head was bleeding. They kept it bleeding, you know. Said if they'd been right to the hospital, he'd probably died on account of pressure, you know.
So that had to be late 20s or early 30s when that happened?
Well, yeah, late 20s.
Late 20s. Yeah. So I guess he was real lucky, I mean...
Oh, yeah, well, they didn't think he was going to live anyway.
Right. So when he came home after that, he worked as a waterman and construction.
He had a packing house down, packing house down Little Creek, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Was this was all after his accident?
Yeah.
How long did your dad live, Uncle Wes?
He died when he was 50.
Died when he was 50.
Yeah, well, Mike, we was expecting Mike, but my father died before he was born.
Right.
So I never got to see him, you know.
What are some of your earliest memories from being a kid?
I remember the first day I went to grammar school.
Here in Chester?
Yeah.
Chester School?
Up here where Rite Aid is.
You remember the first day of school?
Yeah. Mom took me up in Model T Ford. And Cliff and Dick Coleman and my cousins, they run out and met me and carried me in school.
Was that first grade?
Yeah.
First grade.
I remember it.
Who was your teachers? You remember your teachers?
Yeah, Miss Covey. It was a 2-room school.
Right.
Miss Covey had 1 room. She was the principal. And Miss Evelyn Jones had the other room.
What grades went to that school? Like, was it first grade?
It was 7th grade went there first, but when I left, I was the 5th grade. 6th grade started up Caesarsville.
Oh.
With Limemore. Now she would beat your butt, boy.
A lot of boys quit school early back then, didn't they?
Well, I never graduated from 7th grade.
7th grade. That's pretty much, is that as far as most boys made it?
Yeah, a lot of them 7th grade grammar school, but
Right.
I didn't stay all that year. I went on and got on the boat and went over.
Went to work.
Yeah. But when I got out of service, I went to Baltimore Construction Institute in Baltimore. I graduated from that after the war.
What did you take there? Masonry?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
A general contracting, stuff like that.
So you were basically
I went on GI Bill.
you were a waterman until you went in the service.
Yeah.
And then when you got out, you went to technical school
Yeah.
on the GI Bill.
Yeah.
And
Well, we used carpenter with my father before
Right.
I went in the army, so go around, follow him around and do things.
right, help him.
But I never liked that, so I got a boat and went crabbing. Brother, he stuck with him, but
Right.
I'd rather be all by myself.
You'd rather be a
Than
waterman.
listen to him hollering,
How old were you when you went in the service?
18.
World War II.
This is the day I went to Omaha Beach, the 8th of June.
Is that today? Wow, that's right.
It invaded 6th. And I went in D+2. They pushed them back some.
Right,
We didn't have to fight our way out the boats, in other words.
right. D+2.
Yeah.
That must have been hell, huh?
Yeah. We was grabbing dead men, grabbing our soldiers with boat hooks going in, putting them on deck from LCI,
Oh,
hanging on to them. They were drugging them up in shoal water. They were floating around out there,
what happened to you once you got on shore?
Well, we didn't have to fight our way ashore. And they told us we better go ahead and dig foxholes, And I was tired. I just rolled the hedgerow. I thought I ain't digging no foxhole. They cut that stuff in there that night. Next morning, they dropped me a rope. I was still digging. I wanted a place to be on top of the ground.
I hear that. So shit, that was like your first
First time I ever was shot at.
yeah.
I always wanted to catch him. Germans had a whole lot of them motorcycles with sidecars on them.
Yeah.
And there in Austria, once in a while we see them going around that mountain. And I always wanted to shoot that driver and see what that guy was going to do in that sidecar.
Never took a shot at it, never got a shot at it.
No, I don't even know if we see another one. It's my shot, don't buy it.
How long were you overseas?
28 months.
Jeez. So once you got ashore, and were you there, how long were you right there?
When they started moving up soon, we was there pretty rough about a week, I guess. And when it started breaking through them hedgerows, see, we couldn't get through the hedgerows. Our tanks couldn't get through them. They run up on top of them hedgerows was like 10, 15 foot thick, been there for centuries. And then some guy in the ordnance put more blades on front of them tanks. They would run up there and cut right on through the tank, bust right through them.
Get out.
Because there would be holes in them hedges, and them so Germans would have artillery and machine guns set up on them holes. Because they knew you had to go through there, but once we got them saw teeth, they took them old things off the beach, them crossbars and all, and cut them up with torches and welded them on front of them tanks as teeth. And then they just bust right on through everything. Saved a lot of lives, them old.
Whew. I bet you were scared of
American ingenuity.
Yeah. Right. Necessity being the mother of invention, right?
Yep.
You were a scared young man over there, I bet, weren't you?
They might have said they weren't scared to either lying or weren't there.
Right.
Guess they're scared your mouth get dry.
The whole time.
I never saw atheists out there.
No atheists in the foxhole, huh?
No. I run through this apple orchard. We had a replacement second lieutenant come out of school up there or something. I'm running my tail off. What are you running for? I said, I'm running because I cannot fly.
Getting out of there, weren't you?
Yeah, I changed my address.
Ew.
What are you running for?
Did you think that the military changed you? Were you changed? You were changed when you came back, weren't you?
Oh, well, never been off 10 ounces except go to Bomber and get a suit of clothes.
No kidding.
You know.
Yeah.
Never drank nothing. Got over and everybody that was partying and plenty of booze around.
Right.
You know. Made PFC 5 different times.
5 times. They bust you every time you made it?
But except the last one.
No kidding. 5 times.
Yeah. Oh my God. Captain Davis told me, he said, if I don't see your name in a week, a month, I'm going to make a buck sergeant 1 week before he took away the one I had. That military weren't for me. I mean, I wouldn't take you down and get out alive.
Right.
You wouldn't take nothing from
right.
there. Well, how in the world would I go see France, Germany, Luxembourg, Austria, Belgium? Luxembourg was a beautiful country.
What were you doing in Luxembourg? Occupying?
No, we was up in there. That's where we met the Russians at. We met some Russians there anyway. And they got drink barrel paint remover that they had there for something, killed by 30 or 40.
Really? Ew.
They thought it was liquor.
Ugh.
That dumb, I'm gone gold.
Right.
Damn. And one of them had a submachine gun.
Drunk on...
yeah, on paint remover.
On paint remover.
What some of them said it was. We had them in our hospital. They dying while you pumping them out. Eat their insides out, I guess.
So even though while everything was going on, while you were over there and you know, fearing for your life, at the same time, there was celebrating going on.
Oh, well, you ain't fighting every day.
Right.
Or right down nitty gritty, you know.
Right.
No. My God, you couldn't stand that.
So a young boy from Kent Island over there in Europe, fighting in the war, and probably met more than a few girls out there somewhere.
Yes. We take them little French towns and them gals run out there. Very kind of my hero. I meet you.
Shoot, it's
been loved twice a day.
Hard to imagine that era, man, for us, for younger people, and there aren't a lot of you guys around now to tell us about that.
Many of them left.
Right.
Well, we had our 59th reunion last month. I didn't go. I went to it last year.
Right.
Mike flew in from Seattle and went with me.
Oh, that's neat.
We went down to Lexington, Virginia.
Uh-huh.
Of course, he done all the driving. He called me Sunday and asked me if I'd meet him today in Hawaii. Him and his wife. I said, yeah. I said, they got the bridge built, ain't they? They got it built.
You ain't flying?
No. Last time I was flying, Joe Louis was flying plane, I tell you.
That'll turn you off of it.
Me and Joe Louis, Jimmy Sword, and Lou Scratch, all four drunk, left up VFW. I ain't had drink 34 years.
34 years.
Yeah, 31 years.
31 years.
I wouldn't know how long it was, but
right.
I hadn't drank since Lori was born. She's 31.
Wow.
But I told her both down the show I hadn't had to drink 31 years and hadn't had a good day, so I quit. They said, by the time you got drunk again. They wanted to smoke some marijuana down there with them the other day. I said, hell, I took a drink of liquor and stayed drunk 15 years. I know I don't want no dope.
Jeez. That's too much. So, I know I want to ask you, what division were you in when you?
79th.
79th Army.
79th Division. And 3rd Army. Third Army. But I was in quartermaster when went ashore. When got into the infantry later on.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. They transferred a lot of us.
Right.
But,
filling that billet.
huh?
They need to fill that bill. They got a hole. They need to fill it.
Yeah. But, I guess that quartermaster would save my life, you know.
Right. Let's go back.
It hadn't been to send us in there, no D2.
Why is that?
Well, we had infantry training.
Right.
In Fort Lewis. That's why they sent us in, I think. But we was mopping up snipers
Right.
there, you know. I never got to really shoot one, I don't think. I shot a few times.
You're too busy running the other way, weren't you?
No, you
trying to fly.
One of them when you see all our boys
Right.
dead, you know.
Yeah.
You won't kill one bad.
But you don't think he did?
I never saw like from 20 foot away and shoot one
Right.
fall dead.
Right.
If we had a sniper up there maybe a couple hundred yards and they know it's in like 3 trees or something, we cover it all, you know.
I always heard you brought back a lot of memorabilia from over there.
I did. I shipped a lot of it home, all the German uniforms and from a private on up to a colonel. I let Tom Price hang it up down in his store and he sold it.
Oh man, that ain't right.
I started killing nowadays.
You that must cause quite a stir back here on Kent Island, particularly like the younger men and younger boys when you showed them all that stuff.
Well, the thing was, if you didn't go, well, you felt like a slacker, you know.
Right, if you were of age.
Yeah. Well, there was Dudley Ewing, Robert Horning, and myself. We all went up Centerville and then went over 5th Regiment Army to be examined for a physical. And Dudley and I passed and Robert didn't, and some of them hold it to him against him yet, which he couldn't have, but the man didn't pass his physical,
right.
You know. Then we got out to Fort Lewis and Dudley was in a company across the street from me, him, Irv, and Drummer, and some of them. And Al Pearson, Buck Hoxter, and a boy from Chestertown, George Squires, Ellie Dodge from Centerville, and a boy from down Hebron, down at Salisbury, Charlie Darby. We was all in the same company. Al Pearson, he got inducted in Baltimore and wound up in the same company with me.
I was going to ask you if you ever had one of those small world moments where you're somewhere far away from home, you turn around and look and there's somebody you never
Roy
expected.
Radcliffe.
Is that right?
He's the only one I saw. We were the same grade in school. In fact, we were down on the coast ready to get on the ship to go across the channel. And of course the docks is full of soldiers, and I see this sailor there, and I thought, my God, I know him now. Went around to Roy Radcliffe. He was the only one I saw that weren't my company that I knew.
Right.
I said, Roy? He said, yeah. I had a Mustang. He said, that you, Wes? I said, yeah. He said, how long before you getting on the boat? I said, I don't know. He looked, everyone's had tag on. He looked at you, he ain't getting on 3 or 4 hours. So get a couple of your buddies. He took us over to mess hall. He was the chief, made him cook us over there, bust us open.
Oh, that's good then. That was good to run into Roy.
Uh-huh.
Y'all were in school together?
Same grade.
Who else are some kids you went to school with? People you went to school with?
In my grade, Harold Legg, Keller Hopson, Fountain Davison, Dudley Ewing,
Wow.
Louis Chance.
Those are all some well-recognized local names.
Yeah, one of them is dead.
Yeah.
Billy Gardner, he's still alive. He was in my class.
What about girls? You remember any girls you went to school with?
Yeah, Phyllis Palmer. Jack Gardner's wife's sister. Phyllis. And Sis Harry. She was a year older than me, but she didn't make it one year, and I called her, so she was in my class. Elm Thomas, Ed Cole's wife.
What kind of, how big was the class? Like,
oh, hell, maybe 25.
25 kids.
I'm not sure.
Right.
It was around 20. Somewhere between 20 and 30, probably.
Pretty small class compared to what they have these days.
Sure.
Yeah. Was, what about, like, when you were a kid, holidays? Do you remember holidays being a big deal?
4th of July was.
4th of July.
All those cars had flags on their radiator's end was up front with
Right.
a filled pipe on it.
Right.
They had little things that they made fast on the radiator with 3 flags on it, and firecrackers. Well, you go right to the grocery store and buy all the rolling camels, shoot them balls of fire.
Like, what grocery stores? Like Franum's?
Any of them.
They all sold them right
Off
there.
and down the Minion,
Right.
Tom Bryce's Follow Man Mountain Price.
Price.
They all sold fireworks around 4th of July.
So that was a big holiday you remember
Yeah.
when you were younger.
Mm.
What else did they
Of
do?
course, Christmas, you know.
Christmas.
Easter.
Religious holidays.
Yeah.
Was religion a big part of your life when you were growing up?
Well, Grandpa Thompson, he was superintendent of this Kingsley Church down here
Uh-huh.
for 28 years.
28 years.
And when I was a little boy, he wouldn't carry me fishing if I didn't go to church. Of course, I'd be on the front row. You know, couldn't wait for it was over, but I was going to be there. But then he wouldn't carry me fishing, see. Hold that on my head.
Right.
Don't go to church, you don't even know how to fish.
So when you were young, the family religion was a central part of
Yeah.
growing up.
Sure. For most of them.
Right.
Families it was. Well, we grew up in the church.
Methodist church is
Oh, yeah.
Methodist church, right?
Yeah, all our families. All the Lawrences, Colemans, Thompson.
Those are all cousins,
Yeah.
Colemans and
Well, it was a big family. There was 11 of them. One left.
wow,
Down.
11, yeah.
She was in her 90s. But Mom had 3 or 4 sisters that was in her 90s.
Yeah.
Carter was 98. Mom
Yeah.
was 98 and a half.
Yep.
Aunt Ella was in her, if she weren't in her 90s, she was pretty close to it. Joe's mother.
Lydia, wasn't she?
Well, she was in her 80s.
Was she?
She died of Mom.
Lydia, I remember that.
Yeah.
Didn't she go up and take a nap, or was it?
Yeah, she went up to her room and Bob and I had been teasing her up there that morning. And Joan was living in, she was down here. And phone rang, I went over, Mom was hysterical. Liddy's dead upstairs. I said, Mom, Liddy ain't dead. I just talked to her 20 minutes
Right.
ago, so she's dead now. Joan and I run up there. And her false teeth I have our most sorry. I guess Mom had shook them out.
Right,
You know,
trying
to wake her up.
Yeah.
And Bob and I had put the phone upstairs for Mom by her bed years before, so she'd have one she needed.
Sure.
And I left Liddy sitting there in the chair and dialed 911, and the girl said, I told her what was going on. She said, you know CPR? I said, no, but tell me what to do and I'll do it. So can you get the phone to her? I said, no, but I can bring her to the phone.
Right.
So I handed Joan the phone. I told the woman I'm going to get her, so I brought her in. Joan said, she said, lay her on the floor, and I did. And Joan started telling me what to do. And by that time, the door opened, one fireman run in. He had heard it on the monitor or something. Now I got back, I said, yeah, you know more about this than I do. So he went on. Then Tracy Shelf and some more of them come up there. They stayed up there about 10 minutes. Not Jody, but Tracy. And Tracy come down and said, Wes is gone. And it was a nurse with him or something. Said she'd been dead about 20 minutes. But Tracy Shelf stayed there with Mom and I. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Sat there and held her hand.
That means a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it means a lot to have that when you're in that kind of
Tracy was
situation.
good.
Yeah, those boys are good boys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're good boys.
And all those guys that with the fire company, you got to give it to them, man.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I never did belong to fire company. I did a lot of work for them.
right.
I run a mini crap game for them. Carnival.
Right.
I used to run all the crap games in Canada.
What, for carnivals and fairs and that kind of thing?
Then I'd get Joe Coleman to help me, or Johnny Sword, or Johnny Sword, Buddy Miles.
Where'd you learn to play craps?
In the Army.
In the Army. You never gambled when you were here before you...
No, I'd never shot the deck cards, but in that Army you do
What's good?
like in Rome. You soon learn how to gamble.
And then you come back to Kent Island and you teach everybody else.
Yeah.
Spread the knowledge.
I went down Berkeley played poker Friday. First time I played down there in years. Playing 7 card stud. I lost $30 before I won a hand.
Woo!
I got 3 deuces up. One of the guys raised me. I raised him back.
Right.
Now between us is calling. He said, I done a little full house. We got 2 more cards coming. Said, I done a little deuces full. Ain't gonna win this hand. So we get another card apiece. Didn't help nobody that I saw. He bets $1. This guy makes it 2. I make it 3. He said, I told you that little old full house deuces full ain't gonna be no good. So help me God, and I got that 7th card, and I pinched it out. It was that 4th deuce. Well, I got into him. Got done betting. That guy rolled his hand over. So I told you that little old 3 deuces full weren't gonna win this fight. I said, Jack's full. The other guy said, well, I'm got queens full. I said, I knew it wasn't no good. That's why I got 4 deuces. He like bit his cigarette out.
I bet he did.
I said, that's why I got 4 of them, because I knew 3 weren't that good.
You always been a pretty good gambler?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll beat them down.
Yeah.
They sit there and get half drunk.
You gonna keep playing? You gonna go play some more?
Yeah, I will.
Sure.
That's where I got a lot of my fancy guns playing poker down there.
What? People betting them? Losing their guns?
No.
Above money, right.
Anything on one waste that.
Right, that's extra.
I used to win like maybe $1,500, $2,000 a year. But they get half drunk and play inside straights and 2 card flushes. Well, you can't play them cards and play poker with me because I'm going to eat you alive.
Right, you sitting there sober.
Because I don't mind throwing my hand away if it ain't no good.
Right.
Some of them play over hand, but that's the way they want to play. That's their business.
Yep.
But if mine ain't no good,
Poker's really gotten popular too.
Not enough to get in that game.
Yeah, what like that?
Texas Hold'em, big game.
Yeah.
But that's $10 grand to get in.
You ever play any big games like that?
No.
No.
Oh, I've got big crap.
Right.
My God, now they're coming home on that ship. I only had $9 and got on the ship when I won. I believe it was 1,400. And I give out in Pearson 1,000. I said, don't give it to me till I get to New York.
Right.
Well, I went back and gave him lost 400 I kept, and I went back and told Pearson, I said, give me 300, that's my money. He said, what money? I said, money I give you. He said, you ain't got the money till you get to New York. I said, you better give me $300, you better get out of here before I bust you upside the head with this rifle, you ain't getting nothing. Well, give me a quarter of that.
He told him.
And he took the money belt off and had his money belt.
Isn't that funny? Y'all came back on a Navy ship?
Come back on Victory ship, Rushville Victory.
Oh, yeah.
Our ship I went over on.
That's a Navy ship?
No, that's an English ship. She's up, backing the boat up with the Queen.
Wow.
I guess she had 7,000 troops on her.
American and English and British
troops? Well,
troops?
they had an English crew, but they had American gunners on.
Uh-huh.
She only had one big gun on the stern.
Man, I bet you felt like you were in another world, leaving little old Kent Island.
Sure.
And going over there and meeting Russians and
yeah. We was out 4 days out of New York, and it was pretty calm that morning. And I walked on deck and I asked one of them English sailors, I said, how far are we from land? He said, about 7 miles. I'm surprised at 7 miles and run 4 days, you crazy as hell. He said, straight down. Over 7 mile water, that's 7 miles.
Straight down.
Straight down.
Gee, Christmas.
I felt like throwing him overboard.
Let's talk about when you came home and started a family and all. How old were you when you got married?
I don't know, 22, 23.
And how many kids did you have?
1.
1 son, Michael, right?
Yeah. 1 I claim anyway.
Michael lives in Seattle now?
Hour and a half out of Seattle.
Yeah.
This out there in the desert out there.
Right.
I forget they only have, it's less than 10 inches of rain a year they get.
Yeah. They got a bad reputation out there for a lot of rain, but they don't really get that much.
Well, Seattle gets some rain.
Right.
Back what we do here, but the edge of that desert, they don't get none.
Is that right?
Yeah. Kennewick's where he's at. They cleaned up the most contaminated spot in the United States right there. That's what he does.
Really?
He's a geologist. And then he's got a degree in underwater management too, hydrologist. And I asked him how long they cleaned up, said they'd never get cleaned up in his lifetime.
What kind of pollution is it, or what's
Well, it's where they were doing something for the atomic bomb, they're going to war and pumping everything in the ground.
Oh.
And it's leaching towards that river.
Yeah.
And said them Indians is raising hell. You know, said he don't blame them.
Right.
It's still a pain in the tail.
Right.
But he said you educate an Indian, he'll still go on the warpath.
Where'd Michael get all his brains? You or his mom?
I don't know. I guess his mom.
Who was Michael's mom?
Rosalie Heim. Her people own Shamrock Inn restaurant over there.
They're in Chester.
Yeah, down by Health Barn.
They used to own that.
Yeah.
Is that where you met her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she was in the same grade as me in school.
Oh, she was. You knew her from school.
But I never took her out or anything until I got out of the Army.
Right.
So I actually looked pretty good, so.
How long were y'all married?
About 12 years, I think.
And did you got remarried again, or
I got married again. Married Betty.
Right. When
married her for 20.
Married her for 20.
Then Joan and I went together. 7 or 8 years, I guess. She died of that lung cancer.
I was gonna say Joan passed away, right? I remember that.
Yeah, she was my soulmate, Captain.
Miss her.
Still miss her.
Yeah.
After 3 or 4 years.
Were you, now I know you, like you said, you've been sober over 30 years. When you were with Joan, were you still drinking, or were you sober then?
No, she just died about 30 years.
Right. You were sober then.
No.
And you did that yourself, didn't you? You quit drinking all by yourself.
Yeah, well, one in the morning with a hangover, and I said, I ain't gonna feel this bad. I took a fifth liquor and knocked down that back door. I said, I'm done. Better say you have 5th, 4th Saturday. I said, well, not this late. Not me.
No kidding.
I ain't got to have it.
And you were a serious drinker. I mean, you weren't playing around.
I'd go months wouldn't drink now.
Oh, is that
then
right?
I'd go off on tire.
I got you.
Now, well,
like a binge drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go buy a case of beer and wouldn't break bread till I drank it.
No kidding.
You think I'd be in bed with a nurse?
I bet you had a few adventures back in those days too, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I had somebody, some 2 or 3 gals used to go on a bench with me.
I know that you regret, or you don't regret now, or you certainly don't regret all your sober years. Probably don't regret those years you drank too much either.
Not a bit.
Right.
I'd probably do it again.
Right. It's cool that you could quit like that. I mean, so many people, you know.
Well, they don't want to do it.
Right.
If you want to do it, you can do it.
You can do
get
it.
Between your ears, you can do it. You can have your preacher and your wife and your mom and all your relations preach to you. You ain't going to pay attention to them dumb bitches.
Right. It's not till you
want to do it, then you go ahead and quit. I mean, that's the way I figure.
Right. And you never drank
again? Run it or it runs you. It's whichever one you want. But if you want to be a bum, you keep on drinking. If
right.
you want to straighten yourself out a little bit,
right.
You do that. Well, Coke or something?
No, I'm good. I got a little thing right here. Let me ask you about hunting. You always were a hunter, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hunter and fisherman.
Yeah.
If you want to water Uncle Wes, I'll turn this off. You want to get something to drink, or you want to take a break? When you always were a waterfowl hunter, right?
Yeah.
You never hunt deer much, or did you hunt deer too?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I must kill 100 deer.
Really?
But back then when we was killing 3 geese, sometimes I'd have 6 or 7 farms, and all of them every day. Sometimes during the day. Because sometimes I'd carry 5 or 6 parties in a day.
Wow.
But I had guides and all.
Yeah.
And they put a moratorium on them, of course, cut all that out.
Right.
But it'd be deer on all them farms, and I'm out there on that 3-wheeler every day at trike, and I knew where them deer were bedded down and all that, and when I want one, just go shoot for them. But I've had 7 back in the back window all winter. I couldn't shoot one of them. You know, I would shoot them more.
Right.
It's no challenge.
Right.
After you kill that many. But I still run hunting parties.
You're a guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still got my master guide license.
Wow.
But you have to have them for the hard people and all the things. But we killed a lot of geese last year. I done quit it too, but some of them boys hunted me for 30 years.
Yeah.
Guys. They said, man, don't quit, won't have nowhere to hunt. And they're personal friends now.
Right. Where do they come from? They like.
Well, two guys own a big restaurant over at Roslyn, Virginia. You get that Washington tree, a couple of Italian fellas. Now they've hunted me for 30 years, I guess. And I look forward to them coming. Then I still got parties come out of Moorhead City.
Mm-hmm.
They come up. They come up twice last year, but they always stay 3 days when they come. I book them in the motel. Only thing is, we were getting our limit down. If it's after 38 o'clock, then I don't know what to do with them.
Right.
Back when we first started, oh my God, I used to have to get drunk with them after
Right.
I don't carry no fishing parties. I carry my friends.
Right. You used to do that too, though, right?
Yeah, way back.
Really?
Well, we carried them for $20 a day.
Wow.
And furnished the gas and booze.
I always heard you used to carry some local like sports celebrities like Orioles and Baltimore Colts.
Whole team, everybody hunted and fished on our way with.
Is that right? Came down, hunted and fished with you.
There's Bumper's picture up on the wall.
Al Bumper, yeah.
But Brooks Robinson, Billy Smith, Wayne Gross, Scotty McGregor, Billy Smith, Scotty McGregor. They all hunted with me.
Wow, that must have been.
Well, I never bought a ball. I get tickets to the game for 20 years.
Wow.
Then Scoop Reader, I put a 2-car garage and 2 bedrooms on his house down in Romico. And he produced and directed the old show. That's how I met him. And I went up there with Scoop and we went down to the clubhouse and he told me I was a hunting fisherman and they started coming down. In fact, Scoop gave me a press pass going to the press parking lot where you couldn't get off the big lot, that little press lot, you go out, get in your car and come run on home.
That's all right, man.
I said, what news is it? Put the press pass up in your window. I said, what newspaper you work for? I said, Ken Island Daily. They don't know that. No difference.
Ken Island Daily. Ace reporter, Wes Thompson. That must have been a lot of fun for you too, man.
Oh yeah, well you enjoy carrying them.
Right. Brooks
brought 2 of his boys down one time.
Fishing?
I owned that boy, that oldest boy, automatic shotgun, because it had a little single barrel. He shot and then set it down, still had his finger on the trigger, and that gun went off. I said, oh, I'm going to give you back your gun. You give me that. I stuck it outside the blind.
All right, now.
Like a little boy, Jody Shelton. That boy, the oldest boy, his killed a goose farm with a 410 shotgun.
Get out.
He did indeed. But when I call a shot, I dive underneath the seat with them kids. I let them go.
Let them go fly where they may. Them boys now that they all take hunter safety and all that. They all
got
have
hunter safety, but they don't teach them right.
No.
One, for instance, we had this cripple down. We would let them boys run out and reshoot the cripple. And here's a goose out there like 75 yards. One of the boys goes here and another one goes here and they got the goose between them going to shoot. And I'm screaming and hollering at them, putting one back, see? Now they should teach them that hunting.
Right, right.
One, you know, very things they should teach.
The real world stuff they're going to have happen.
Right. Now, whoever taught them probably taught them everything about the guns. I don't know what they
Right, out of a book or...
But they didn't teach them that one particular thing, which they should know.
Yeah, right, right.
Because them shot hit that frozen ground and skip. Especially steel shot, which we have to use. The old lead shot would mash up, you know, and stop.
Right.
But them steel shot hit and skip. Well, they're just powerful when they come off that ice, by God, as they ever were.
Yeah.
In fact, Kenny, Council's got one eye from steel shot now.
No kidding.
hunter's gun went off in blind with them steel shot, and it ricocheted around the old seaman blind and come back and struck him in the eye.
No kidding. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
He got one eye. Works very free.
Yeah, he lives up there past Centerville now. Up at Queen Anne, Centerville, up that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ran into him recently. I did an appraisal for them up there. Let me ask you about when you were a bricklayer as a mason. Your time then, you did that for a long while too, right?
Yeah, I guess it's 40 years, I guess. Well, learn how to. We went to trade school. We laid brick right in school. We built whole houses, then they tear them down, we rebuilt.
No kidding. But
you use lime and sand instead of lime, cement, and sand.
Right.
Then they could take the brick part easy. And where we did that kind of work, that was in the old car barn, street car barn, which we didn't use anymore. Out at Bel-Air Road and North Avenue, out in the east end of North Avenue, and then got a job laying brick.
For another company? For a company?
Yeah. And when you go on there, you don't get top wages because you don't know what's going on But I'd been carpentering anyway up there before that, and a carpenter's got a better chance of getting a bricklayer quicker than a guy that's been working in a grocery store.
Right.
And then I could lay off work, where the windows went and the doors and all.
Mm-hmm.
And my father taught us how to read prints when we was little, you know. And then I'd go to work for a company. It's really a 3-year apprenticeship, but I'd go to work for a company for a couple months. Wouldn't give me a raise, I'd go to another one. Tell them I've been laying brick for a year, I'd work there a couple months. Then go to another time I've been laying 2 years.
Right.
Then go on and time I've been laying brick for 40 years. 20 years, you know. But so, you can hold your own, but
right.
But then work got scarce.
Up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Baltimore, there's a lot of work over in D.C., so 3 of my buddies that went to school with, we went over to Washington, got a job, and got in the union over there. I haven't worked there, I don't know, 6-8 months. Come back, and then I run a job for a guy I had out Aberdeen. He had 60 houses of brick veneer up there, and we had 30 days brick veneer the first one, then had to have one done every day after that.
Really?
But I had a pretty good sized crew.
Right.
We come out early on the job. I got a nice bonus out of that. But I bought a house out in Bel-Air and Erdman.
Really? You lived out there?
Yeah.
No kidding.
And I got up one morning and I thought, hell, I'm going home.
And you just came home?
Yeah, Rosalie was madder than the devil. Said she'd never forgive me, and she didn't either.
Why? Because...
She liked the job.
She didn't want to come back here.
But I was coming back here anyway.
And then you came back and started your own business?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And did you still work on the water?
When I first come back, I worked on the water.
Right. Oystering?
Yeah. Sonny Shells and I was oystering. I was oystering with Sonny. And Joe Lewis worked with us some. And
until your masonry business started.
I got a clam rig. And then when the clams got down to $3 a bushel, I brought her in and tied her up.
Right.
Got my trowel out and started masonry business, and I stayed into it until I was 65. Then I quit that. And I hated to lay my crew off because I had some guys that worked for me 12, 15 years.
Right.
Laborers and all. Well, Jim Yoder, he was a stone brick mason out of Pennsylvania. He told me one job for 2 weeks and stayed with me 36 years.
The longest 2 weeks you ever saw, wasn't it?
I told him it's a good thing he didn't want to stay a job.
Did you and him stay close after you closed down?
Oh, yeah. Then I bought a big boat and went crabbing.
Oh, he went with you?
And he went with me.
Yeah.
Scared to death out there in the dark.
Oh, Pennsylvania,
you know.
yeah.
And I made a lot of money crabbing. But then it got so year before last, I was going out there and making $30 and worked myself to death, and I was sold the boat.
Right.
I bought this 28-foot carver with twin screws in it.
Yeah, pleasure boat now.
Yeah, Joe found it in paper.
Yeah, he said he came down with you brought it down.
He came, went up with me. I carried Gary up there. Gary's Marine.
Yeah.
He went up there and checked everything out and all. Said, Mike, I'll go buy this boat. Said, if you wanted to, because everything's perfect on it. And I said, I ain't done with him yet. And I went down and jewed him down $2,000 more and bought him. Then Joe and Kay went up with me in my pickup, carried gas, because didn't have gas up there.
Right.
Spring of the year that early. And the back bilge pump weren't working, and the guy said he'd hook it up. So before we left, I said, well, hook that back bilge pump up for me. He said, okay. Because I could have hooked it up. I've hooked up 100 of them. He hooks it up. We get in, start the motors up, and start on down the bay in about 5 minutes. One of the motors got acting up, and I cut it off and went to start it and didn't have nothing. Joe said, we better go back. I said, Kay's left. There ain't nothing to go back to.
Right.
Put up there,
Jeez.
Earlville.
Right.
I told Joe, I'm going as far as this one motor car. I got this cell phone. 4 hours later, we come underneath Nair's Bridge.
Wow.
And was eating that old blue cheese.
He like that stuff, man. Blue cheese.
In his jar hot. Slimy. What a mountain. And I couldn't eat that for $1,000.
Where you keep it at? Down the county slips?
Yeah, number 50.
They, a lot going on down there. They want to try to take it away from the watermen, don't they?
Yeah, but we ain't gonna let them do that.
That ain't fair, man.
It was given to us.
Right. Specifically for that.
John Garner gave it to the waterman. He didn't give it to the state or nothing.
Right.
Because Jack told me himself, said if they hadn't have built that building there, that emergency building, he would have given from our on up
right.
the road. He said, Wes, I give it to them for nothing, because I'll never use it.
Right.
But they built that building. There wasn't supposed to be no building on it. The county didn't have no business building that.
Once they built that building, then they
couldn't expand.
Right.
But the county weren't supposed to build that building there because it was there for the watermen. They didn't have no business putting nothing there. But when you go up there and look for the papers, they can't never find them.
So basically, they built that on property that didn't belong to them.
That's right.
They built it on property that was given to the watermen.
That's right. But they can't never find none of the old papers. They got them hid somewhere to burn them up.
How long has that building been there?
Probably, what, 10 years?
10 years.
I guess.
Yeah, something like that. I was just trying to think who might have been the powers that be at the time.
Well, they charge us for storage down there. Nobody ever uses it.
Right.
I bet it ain't been 2 watermen go in that restroom there since it's been there.
Right.
In fact, they got a combination on it and nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Well, they send you the combination each year on your lease. But everybody forgets it. I know it. You press 2 and 4 at the same time, let them go and press 5 and open it up. But I've never used it in my life.
So they say it's for you guys, but they want to they charge you for it.
Yeah, and then
you don't even need it.
Then it's for them fellas that's on the ambulance.
Right.
I mean, they need that.
That's fine.
That's wonderful.
Right.
But they shouldn't have built it on property the county didn't own.
And it seems like they could work with you instead of against you on that stuff.
Well, they come out with, if I rent a slip, I can't let you put your boat in it.
Right.
But we kicked that out.
You did?
Yeah, to raise so much hell, we got a letter from them where it was a
good.
mistake. Now we can let somebody use it.
They didn't mean to do it. That was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a mistake. But they said after they checked with the county attorney and all, they found out that it was better if they didn't, that we could.
Well, that's like you have a house, you rent a house, that you can't let nobody else in there.
That's right. But a lot of times, some of the boys will go down the bay and say some of the boys down there is going to crab pot in the bay. Well, to go to Kentmore, Queen Anne's Colony, or John's, down to Kent Point, and stay the summer fishing their pots. Their slips open, and somebody down the Minion wants to crab in Chester River. Well, your buddies, they go in my slip.
Why can't they use it?
That's right.
Instead of it sitting there empty.
Yeah, leave it empty.
Right.
But they can't days now. They got that nice ladder from them.
Uh-huh.
Where they eat and crow.
Well, I know when I go by there, man, I'd much rather see work boats in there than another bunch of, yachts.
But they should never start the yachts. And of course, I haven't got a yacht in there, but I still got hook, line, commercial license.
Right. You could take fishing parties out of there on your boat if you wanted to.
Oh yeah. But I don't fool with them. You know, I want to go and come suit Wes.
Right. Let me ask you this. We only got a couple more minutes left. I want to ask you about changes on Kent Island.
Oh. So many. Sometimes I have to sit out in this lane, wait for 15, 18 cars coming down from Wheeler.
To get out of your driveway.
Get out of your driveway. And on weekends, forget it. I can't ride down. I can go down the boat, but I can't get back home.
Can't get back.
Because they run through 18.
Yep.
And it used to be so when I was a kid, we'd go to the farmers. In summertime, we'd help them get up hay and wouldn't take no money for it. For a couple days in summertime when they really needed some help, you know, putting the hay in the barn and all. Like with Mr. Owens Ford and them and Mr. Harm Lewis and all of them, we'd help. Then when hunting season go in, say, "Are you hunting on you this year, Cap?"
Right.
Well, sure, help yourself. Never dreamt anybody'd have to pay for a hunting right.
Right.
But everything's changed. But you take old Baltimore, Washington, and all them places, and 5 or 6 of them hunters get together, put $1,000 up apiece, come over here and pay $8,000 or $10,000 for a farm. Well, these watermen can't afford that.
Right.
You know? But the watermen's dead. They can't make a living.
The water industry gone.
Bluey Thomas has been out twice last week and went over at Marshy Creek with a commercial line and has never seen the first crab. Joe Coleman went up Kirby Creek and went to clean Buck Hill's place, you know, down the Minion, and laid all the way out that creek down past Jody's and all. Made 3 hauls and he's got his first crab to see.
Oh, that's horrible, man.
Right.
What causes that, Wes? Is it the pollution? Is it?
I don't know what it is. I took soft crabs. Sunday morning I got done soft crabs with Jerry Harrison, small ones.
Yeah.
Of course he lets me have them.
Right.
No, $8 good. And nobody wanted to go fishing. I went by myself. I left down there and I put running lights on, went out in the dark. Of course these places don't mean nothing to you because you never worked down there, but I went to Bugler's, Tillman's Point, Blackbud, back in Shorewater Bastion, and Fine Eye Hill. That's fine and 5 best fishing spots in that bay. I ain't caught one.
You know,
come home and eat the other 9 soft crabs by me now for dinner.
Just talking about those spots like that, are there, I guess there's still a lot of young guys out there that do know those places and do know those.
Yeah.
But because the waterman's life is going away, there's less and less of them, isn't it?
Oh, sure. Well, they can't make a living.
Can't stay in it.
No. Well, you take there for a few years, even last year, them guys eeling. Well, they set 600-800 eel trap, put them on long lines, and they was making pretty good money. This year, the fuel doubled, and the razor clams were $15. This year they're $30. So time they buy their fuel, and with the double the price of bait, they use like $250 or $300 worth of fuel and bait a day. It's gone. They take the pots up and carry them home. When they paid for the bait and gas, they had nothing left.
What's the answer, man? How do they? Can they fix?
They're going to clean this bay up, but I don't think they'll do it.
No, I just read they're going to allow more mercury in the bay now. The federal government passed some rule that allows higher mercury levels.
That's for the billionaires.
Yeah, for corporations.
As long as the guy got Republicans, they're for the millionaires.
For the
they ain't telling me.
Big business.
Certainly.
They really have a lot of the little men kind of fooled.
Yeah.
To think that they're looking out for them.
Looking out for help.
And they're really not, are they?
That's why they're shipping all that stuff from China and all.
Yeah.
Because they get it for nothing, bring it over here, and the big companies get rich.
Yeah.
But it's all going to backfire. It ain't going to hurt me old. I'm going on
Right.
81, but it's going to hurt the kids.
Yeah.